Good morning, good evening, and good night. Welcome back to another episode of Plip Plop Plays. Today, as the title of the video suggests, I am trying to scratch that Splitgate itch. I have not been able to stop thinking about Splitgate since I played the open alpha, and man, I really just wanted to get back into this game because the open alpha was just absolutely amazing. I really hope, this video not only helps scratch my itch, but really helps scratch your itch too in terms of getting back into Splitgate, and, may help inspire you to play the original in preparation for Splitgate 2. But with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. So I really haven't played Splitgate in a while. It's been really 2 years. And so I, fell into the Halo hype that I talked about last video where, Halo 6 dropped with a surprise free-to-play multiplayer, and that's really what got me off of Splitgate 2. And so, unfortunately, I didn't really come back to the game. I tried to after I realized Halo sucked, but the community at that point was already dead, and it took a long time to find different matches. But that being said, the community now is, I would say, alive and well, especially in the social game modes. It didn't take me a super long time to find get a queue or to queue for a game in social game mode. So I did play, Team Snipers, I played Team SWAT, some Team Deathmatch, and my queue times were honestly relatively short. I was waiting 2, maybe 3 minutes per game, whereas the more sweaty ranked playlists took a lot longer to queue. For this video, I had to, wait 20 to 30 minutes in a queue to get a match, and so it's really different strokes in terms of how long it takes to queue for a match. If you want to be competitive, if you want to be sweaty, you are going to have to prepare for that longer queue time, whereas if you want to sit back, relax, and just chill with some friends, you can expect a lot less. And so I think that has to do with a lot of the Splitgate community who enjoyed the open alpha, coming to the original, trying to play, but not really, not really wanting to try their brains out. But that being said, the playing Splitgate 1 right after playing the open alpha for Splitgate 2 really went a long way in highlighting the differences between the two games. It really shows how much effort the developers have put into this game. When they released when they ended live service, I should say, for the original Splitgate back in 2022, and they announced, hey, we're going to focus our efforts on developing a AAA title, or a game that should be a AAA title. Like, there's really not much to improve on. You've got a really great mechanic that sets it apart, or sets the game apart from different first-person shooters, and that's the portaling mechanic. What else can you improve on? But then after playing the open alpha for Splitgate 2, then coming back to the original, it's amazing to see how much the developers have improved this game. So firstly is just the sprint and slide mechanic. So you can sprint in this game, but it's not nearly as fluid. It feels clunky. It feels honestly like old school Halo, which was a main inspiration for this game. So it's to be expected, but Splitgate 2 feels so much more fluid than Splitgate 1. You can still get some of that fluidity in the original Splitgate by using portals, as you'll see me do, but it's just not as crisp. It's not as fleshed out as Splitgate 2. Another mechanic that really changes the pace of play is the slide mechanic as well. Like in this game, you cannot slide, and it really hinders your momentum, your ability to make, you know, quick around the map plays. You can still get around the map pretty quickly. You still can traverse really easily in the original Splitgate, but it's just, again, it's clunky. It's I would say two-dimensional. You're working with 90 degrees versus, you know, you're working with an X and Y axis versus an X, Y, and Z axis. That's the best way I can describe it. It's missing a dimension. But some improvements that I would like to see that the devs haven't really talked about regarding Splitgate 2 versus the original Splitgate, I would like to see armor progression. You know, this game had a battle pass, which, you know, it needed so the devs could, you know, get funding for Splitgate 2, and I imagine Splitgate 2 is going to have a battle pass just so the developers can secure funding and be compensated for their efforts, because, you know, they're not putting this out for from the good of their hearts. They actually want to make money, and I fully support them in that journey. But I would like to see armor progression, and that's something that you don't see in a lot of games. You know, Halo 6, you know, after I think like what, 2.5 years, they finally added mixed matched armor sets, you know, so you can add like a Mark 6 shoulder piece to a Mark 5 helmet, and that's something that came stock with the original Halos, or Halo 3. You can mix and match armor sets. The same thing with Halo Reach, and so I'd really like to see that mechanic in Splitgate 2. And then, like, obviously they're going to release a battle pass, but I would like to be able to mix and match different items from that battle pass. I'd like to be able to, you know, have an armor set that has a cool shoulder, and then from another battle pass have an use an armor set that's got a cool helmet, and then at the end of the day mix and match the shoulder pieces, the helmet, and everything like that. Secondly, you know, this game has a ton of untapped potential in terms of story. The developers have released comics along with their app that kind of go into world building, but not really. And so there's a lot of creative stuff that developers could do to make a playable campaign. And so, you know, do it like Fortnite. Make the playable campaign $20, make it $30. But, you know, help build out the world a little bit more, as opposed to just having a multiplayer that you just dive into and you're shooting people and that's it. So I would like to see some, you know, story that the developers create. I do think that there is there's a very high potential for how the developers could flesh out this universe. Finally, I know I got off track talking about a campaign, but finally, regarding customization again, I'd like to see portal customization. You know, it's something that the developers played around with in this game. You had a stock portal, but then also you had you know, other portals that you could use, and so I'm just curious to see how creative developers are going to get regarding portals and, you know, cosmetics in general. I don't necessarily know the scope of customization that they're going for, but, you know, this game had portal customization. This game had, you know, some pretty unique skins. This game had some pretty unique weapon wraps as well. So I'd like to see, you know, how much more effort the devs put into Splitgate 2, as well as, you know, just customization and quality of life aspects. Outside of the customization that I would like to see in the second Splitgate, honestly, the devs are just doing an amazing job. Splitgate 2 feels like a natural progression or evolution of Splitgate, and I'm just excited to see where the game goes. I'm excited to see the full scope. The devs just released an open beta, so I'm definitely going to be checking out that trailer after this. But there's not really much more that I can hope for, again, outside of that customization. The second game is so much more polished. It's so refined and fluid over the first game. And not saying the first game isn't fun, but it's just a night and day difference in terms of everything that you can do. But that's going to end the video. Thank you all so much for tuning in and just, listening to my thoughts on what I'd like to see in the second Splitgate, as well as watching some of my gameplay. I hope it helped scratch your Splitgate itch. I know it scratched mine, and I'm definitely going to be on a lot more until Splitgate 2 comes out. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, or night. This has been Plip Plop Gaming. Plop out.